Hello ladies and gentlemen, Mark Antimate here for Running in Japan. I'd like to thank you all for subscribing to the channel and getting me to the 1,000 subscriber mark and getting me over that hurdle so that I can finally get monetized. I got so many things to say inside of this video to talk about the future of this channel and where I'd like to go with it. But first and foremost, I would like to tell you guys, especially thank you for getting me over that hurdle, because for the longest time, I was not monetized and I have just been pouring money inside of this channel and not seeing the fruits of my labor because YouTube had just been taking it all. And before I get into that, let's take a look at the stats and analytics. I got my iPhone here with my notes in front of me so I could pull up this stuff very quickly and talk about it. Today's date, as of the time now of me recording this, it is 3:30 in the afternoon on May 15th, 2025. So I'm about a month shy away from having this YouTube channel for about a year now. But if I take it over to my YouTube channel, my join date of creating this channel was on June 26, 2024. So I'm about a month and 11 days away from having my 1 year anniversary, so to speak. And as of now, 11 months in, I have 241,000 views of my videos on this channel. So I'm only 9,000 views away, just shy of 250,000 views, which is quite an accomplishment for such a new channel. I can't thank you guys enough. It's all because of you. It's not anything that I've really done necessarily. You know, I think I'm kind of bland. I'm a little bit boring. But you guys come back time and again. You look at the shoe reviews. Those are the things that are treating me good. And I think the reason that you guys watch my shoe reviews, if anything else, is because I'm honest. All of my reviews, all of the shoes that you see on this channel have been paid for with my hard-earned cash. Nothing has been given to me for free. You know, there's so many bigger channels out there and there's things that you see on them. I'm not going to say the names of these channels, but you know, it kind of leaves a little bit of a bad taste inside of my mouth when I'm looking at them do a shoe comparison and I see that in one hand they have a shoe that they paid for with their own money, and then the other hand they have the shoe that was given to them from X company, and they're pitting these things against one another, and we're supposed to think that it's an unbiased review when, you know, even subliminally they might think, okay, they gave this to me, I'm still gonna give a so-called honest review, but you know, they don't know how much influence that really has on their psyche subliminally. They don't want to say anything really negative because they want to keep getting this free stuff. And let's say that they have the audacity to get this stuff for free and they do want to be very blatant with and transparent about how they feel about a product if it's not good or whatnot. At the very least, what they could be doing is, if you're going to review a shoe that is gifted to you and you're going to compare it against another shoe, at least compare two shoes that have been gifted to you rather than one that was gifted and one that wasn't gifted. I mean, it's just to speak about ethics on that, I don't think it's right. So there are YouTube channels out there that I really like. The number one being Ben Parks, because he has always bought everything that you see on his channel. And I think he's the mark that we all as ShoeTubers need to strive to be more or less like. Now, before I go off on this tangent about ethics, let me go back to what I was talking about. Right now, at 12 months in, I think I said 11 months earlier, at 12 months in, I'm at 241,000 views on this channel. I started this channel on June 26, 2024. To get to my first 500 subscribers, it was on February 17, 2025. I got 100,000 views on February 21st, 2025. 200,000 views on April 25th, 2025. And I got my first 1,000 subscribers on May 11th, 2025. So thank you guys again, guys and girls. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. Now, I want to give you guys a quick refresher about why I started this channel again. I was inspired by a group of people who I photograph. It's called the Black and Major Run Club. They're black and brown people based all over the United States, but they collectively come to Tokyo to run inside of the Tokyo Marathon. Back in 2023, they needed a professional photographer to take their group photos as well as individual photos, and I was the guy that they hired to do that gig. And I was looking at everybody with their medals on, and I was so inspired by them that, you know, the only way to get one of these medals is to run a race. So I said, okay, they inspired me enough just by looking at them with their gold. Let me go out and do this. You know, I used to be a runner inside of high school. I ran cross country as well as track and field 3 years each. And I wouldn't say that I was successful at that. We had a very successful track and field and a very successful cross country team. But me, I was probably the worst person on the team, but I enjoyed the camaraderie of it. I still did it. And, you know, even though I was the worst person on the team, to say the least, I was not the worst person always running in the races themselves. And once I, you know, got out of high school and I graduated and I made it into the United States Air Force, I ran inside the military and I was pretty successful at that. I came to Yokota Air Base back in 2003, believe it or not, which is over 2 decades ago. And as we were doing our PT, our physical training, first of all, I belonged to the largest squadron that was on Yokota Air Base, which is the 374th Communications Squadron. We had so many hundreds of people inside of our squadron, and every Wednesday was our meetup day for PT after work. We would meet at about 3:30 in the afternoon at a specific designated area, and we would go out and do a 2-mile run. And as soon as you're done with that, you could pretty much go home. And I was always one of the first people to finish that because I wanted to get out of there quickly. But to say the least, I was one of the best runners doing that. So to say the least, I've always had it in me to be a pretty good runner. But then as soon as I got out of the military in 2006, that was the last time that I personally ran. You know, I lived my life for 18 years. It was an 18-year hiatus before I was inspired by these runners from the United States, by Black and Major, to get me off of my butt so that I can do it again. And also, to say the least, I have photographed these guys consecutively year after year since 2023, and I'm hoping to continue that trend. There are some real reasons why I started this channel, and I haven't been doing much of any of this stuff inside of here. First and foremost, I had wanted to talk about spiritual concepts on this channel, because when it's me training for these marathons and things like that, it's just me running by myself, and it's just me with my mind, and all I have to lean on is my spiritual side. You know, I'm praying and I'm talking out loud, and you know, if it was not for my Jesus, for my Christ, you know, I would have given up on this within the first week, because I didn't think that I had it inside of me. But I said, if you could use me for the purpose of my running, if you could use it to reach out to other people, I will see this thing through, and I will do my best to be successful at it so that I can touch other people and use this as a means of reaching out. But since the first video that I uploaded on this channel, which many people have not seen, I have not been doing any of that in pretty much any of my videos, and that's what saddens me the most, because that was one of the big motivations of me starting this channel. And the second motivation of me starting this channel is I did want to talk about racing, which I hardly ever do. You know, initially this channel was supposed to be a showcase of me from sofa to marathon after that 18-year hiatus of not running. You know, I was supposed to showcase what it was like getting out there in week 1 and how difficult it was, and how difficult it was the second week and the third week, and how I slowly progressed from 1 kilometer to 2 to 3 to 5 to my first 10K to 15K to 21K. You know, I haven't been doing any of that. So I went from, you know, starting this channel in June, working towards my first half marathon in October, which was the Tokyo half marathon, and I haven't showed my progress at all. So, you know, I haven't showed my training plans, progression. What a wasted opportunity that was. So I want to show more things like that on this channel. Other things I want to showcase is I want to do a lot more coaching. I want to show more of Japan. And as I mentioned earlier inside of this video, I want to keep the honesty that I was talking about on my reviews. You know, even if I were to be reached out to by some of these companies, you guys know that I love ASICS more than any other shoe brand out there. I also love Nike as well. And if they were to give me the call, I think I would give them the answer. But, you know, to say the least, I want to continue to give transparent and honest reviews. And ultimately, I think, I don't know what I would do. It's hard to say until that opportunity comes my way. But especially, I want these brands to reach out to me. Give me some nice swag. Give me some clothes I can talk about, because, you know, there's not really much bias inside of that. But when you're talking about shoes, you know, things that people use to progress themselves and to propel themselves inside of this sport, you could be bought out and say, oh, this gives me a higher performance than what it really does. When it comes to the clothes, you know, it's just more or less how it looks and the swag, and to say, oh, this is cool, go out and get this because it matches your shoes and things like that. It's not really going to add much sway to one that's watching these videos. And, you know, people will say anything just so that they can continue to get these shoes and show them off every single week and to run inside of them for free. You know, I would love to not pay for shoes. That would be great. But, you know, if you want to keep it like that, if you want me to keep it like that, keep watching the videos, keep supporting me, and I'll make the ad revenue money and I'll put that back inside the channel, and I will try to be another Ben Parks, but, you know, unique inside of my own right. Oh yeah, and I would like to do Q&A with you guys. You know, that's one of the cool things about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. You know, I had forgot to say this, so all I had to do is just whip it out really quickly, turn on the power, and here I am recording. So anyways, that's my little update video here. You guys are watching me record this on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This is something new that I bought, you know, to celebrate, finally get monetized. A new component that I can add to this channel so that I can try to make my videos more dynamic or whatnot, more exciting. So I got this camera and using it right now to see what this footage looks like ultimately, but I'm going to use this to help me make my production values go up, so to speak. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys once again for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.